What's up, guys? I wanted to do a video that wasn't about blood clots or gout. So I actually had one that was recorded about a week ago. So it was after I had found out about the blood clot, before both of my ankles started hurting and couldn't walk and had found out about the gout. So it's an old video, but it's a fun chess puzzle. I wanted to get you guys something about chess out there. So there you go. And I'm doing okay today. So thank you guys for the prayers. I do appreciate it. And yeah, enjoy the video. White to play and win. Before we get into this position, I just want to take a minute to say thank you to everybody who's reached out to me, sharing your time, your resources, kind words, just helpful information about blood clots and things that would be good to know. Like so many things that have encouraged me, and so I just wanted to say thank you, guys. I appreciate it. My family appreciates it. Um, yeah, just I've been overwhelmed with the support, so thank you guys so much. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I have a blood clot in my leg. It was pretty scary when I first found out, and seems like it's going to be a long recovery road, probably several months. But yeah, thank you guys again. Really do appreciate it. So I have a few minutes now before I have to go move my leg. So let's look at this position. White to play and win. Before I say anything else, if you'd like to pause, white's pawns are going forward, black's pawns are going this way. How does white win the game? Well, if you had a chance to look at that, the winning move is knight to e6 check. And this is pretty obvious, right? It's a check that forces the king to make a decision. And part of the reason why this is such a good move is because the king cannot go here or here or here. It has to go hide over here on g8. Why is that the case? Well, if it goes here, we simply have a fork. That's pretty straightforward. And if it goes to either of these two squares, notice how it walks into the line of the rook. So that gives us a discovered check, which essentially means we can move this knight wherever we want, unleash the rook with check on the king. So knight to g5 would simply win black's queen. The king has to move somewhere and we take the queen. It doesn't matter if the king went to e7 or e8, the same tactic is going to apply and we win the game. So because of that, the only move that makes sense for black is king to g8. And now if you would like to pause again, white to play and win, what's the winning move? If you had a chance to look at that, the move is knight to g5. And it's kind of an obvious move in the sense that we're attacking the queen. But there's something more dangerous going on here. And that is the idea that once the queen moves, we would like to come down here and deliver checkmate. So for example, if the queen were to, like, let's just say take this pawn, the game is over instantly because of this sort of back rank mate idea. Okay, it's not back rank because of the pawns, but our knight is basically doing the job, right? So because of that, black only has one move. You have to go queen to g6 because queen to g6 stops the rook from going down to e8. Now, it's white to play. What should white play to win the game? You had a chance to look at that. The winning move is, wait for it, king to c7. It's kind of a random move. Like, wait, what are we doing with our king? Like, shouldn't there be something more important going on? Like, for example, maybe you said take a pawn. Why not take a pawn and try to take some more pawns or something, right? Maybe you checkmate this way. The problem with this is that black can simply play king to f8, and this is no longer checkmate. I mean, yes, you could go check, but the king is going to escape. And the best thing that you could do would be to get a draw. Check, and you would just have to keep going back and forth. Okay? What king to c7 does is essentially say, look, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to bring my rook down, and I'm going to checkmate your king on the back rank. And black's queen, funny enough, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Ironically enough, it is stuck. It can't move because it has to guard this square. If it tries to move anywhere at any point, like over here, you just checkmate, or you take the pawn, you just checkmate, right? It has to just sit there. So black is kind of in this weird situation of, okay, what do I do? But what black does is simply push a pawn because, I mean, what else can you do, right? And now if you'd like to pause, what should we play as white? Well, if you had a chance to look at that, the move is king to d7. Like I kind of just mentioned it, right? You bring the king over, and now we're threatening to come down here and deliver the checkmate. So black, again, is forced to only play one move, king to f8, because now if we go there, black simply takes it and we lose. So white to play and win. What's the winning move? And this is kind of a tricky moment in the puzzle. White to play and win. If you had a chance to look at that, the move is a4. And essentially what we're trying to do is put black in Zugzwang, which is a position where they don't want to move, but they have to move and they have no good moves. And you have to do it in a very clever way. So for example, if you don't play a4 and you tried maybe c4, just as an example of a different pawn that you could push, you open up this d3 square and the queen comes in. And once the queen comes in and starts checking you and forces your king to go away, or it forces the rook to move off of the thread or whatever, everything kind of just falls apart for white, okay? And black starts having all these different options. So you can't really allow this, okay? That's kind of one point of what's going on. So by playing a4, we force black to start pushing their pawn, because what else can they do? Look at their pawns. They're all stuck. Remember, the queen is stuck. The only move you could try would be h5, but if you'd like to pause, how would white win this? Get a chance to look at that. There's, again, a discovered attack with the rook here. You would simply go check, unleashes the rook, and you win the queen that way. So you would win the game like that. So black's queen cannot move. Of course, you can't go back here because of the checkmate thread here. And the only move for black is c4. And again, it's white to play. How do you win from here? Get a chance to look at that. The move is f3. Now, hopefully you didn't say c3, because like I mentioned, that opens up this square, and all of a sudden black has a move. Check, and you have to move your king somewhere, and then the queen can start just taking stuff, and black's going to actually win the game, okay? So you have to leave that there. That's why we play f3. Now, it's important that we play f3 and not f4, because we need that extra pawn move. So for example, if you said f4 here, which kind of looks logical, right? You're defending your pieces. The problem is you gave up all your extra moves. And now black plays c3, and it's white to play, but what do? You have no way to waste a move. Anything that you do is going to open up an opportunity for the black queen. Okay, so for example, let's say you try to just move your king down here to waste a move. Well, all of a sudden there's a check, and there's a check, and black's queen gets into the game that way. Let's say you try to waste a move with your rook by just bringing it back here. Guess what? It opens up the square for the queen here. Queen to f5 check. Now you have to deal with that again, right? If you try to bring your rook over this way, maybe come in for the checkmate like this, you open up queen to e8 check. And again, the queen starts pestering your king. So wherever you move, you open up that opportunity for black, okay? That is why, so actually in this position, I should mention, knight to e6 check, you could play, the king would move over, you could go back, but you would end up with just a draw. You would have to just go back and forth, okay? So the way to win, going back here, is instead of playing f4, you play f3. Because now, after black plays their last waiting move, you have one extra waiting move here, f4. And this is crucial, because as soon as you play f4, we put black in Zugzwang, and it's all over. What are they going to do? They don't want to move here, because the rook comes in, they have to lose their queen. The queen can't move away, or it's checkmate. We already talked about queen to h5. You have knight to e6 check. There's literally no other moves on the board that are any good for them. Even if they take the pawn, it's still checkmate, right? So that is how you win. A very nice Zugzwang, even with a queen that looks so powerful, it can't actually move, because once you get this checkmate threat, it's just stuck. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And again, thank you so much for all of the kind words. Like I said, really do appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Stay sharp, play smart, and take care.